What up, good people? It's good with y'all. Man, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, y'all. Just coming off of 10-hour shift. Got to go back in that bed Saturday morning. 5 o'clock, do a whole nother 10. Yo, got to do that. You know, I know I'm looking rough right now. Then you get a little shave on and everything. Real. Would have did it yesterday, but I ain't get a chance to because I had other stuff had going on at the time. But like I said, let's talk about it, man. First of all, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to this channel. You know, make sure y'all do that, right? So even though, like I told you, I was doing 10 hours, you know, and first of all, I told y'all yesterday, I'm going to the gym today. I'm headed to the gym. I got to get that workout in. Even though, I need to go home, that's what we're gonna discuss about. Even though I need to go home, but like I said, I got to get the workout in. I got to get it in and everything. But like I said, let's talk about this. So, um, oh man, I'm trying to figure out how should I start this off, right? So, I got to go back to the beginning. I got to. So, 2019, uh, around December. Uh, so my wife, she she had to do a surgery on her thyroid, right? So she had to get her thyroid taken out and everything, cause they was swollen and everything, and so on both sides and everything. One was, right at the esophagus, you know, and everything. So right, so after you know surgery and everything, or whatever, fast forward, um, come 2019 or whatever, right at the beginning of the year, man, New Year's Eve, I get a phone call from my homegirl Jackie, you know, um, shouts out to my homegirl Jackie, man, so I get a call from her and she tells me that, her mom had passed away and everything, and so, which was, hurtful at the time to even hear that, because her mom's good people, you know. Um, so fast forward, come the next day, not New Year's Day, but January 2nd. So January 2nd, um, like I told you, my wife had to do surgery. So the doctor had called her, told her, come by and everything. So get up there with those. So, and all of a sudden, um, I was gonna go. Me and the kids, we were gonna go with her, but she was like, "No, no, um, y'all stay here. I got it." Like that. Okay. So she go, she come back. So when she come back, she say they told her she had thyroid cancer. So I'm like, what? You know. So couldn't believe it. It was, it was crazy. So then, of course, I got to try to be strong for her because I don't want to stress her out and everything. So, so trying, when I had to deal with my emotion about the situation, I had to step out to the side or something away from her. So she didn't see me too emotional about the situation, right? So fast forward, I get up there and um, so this right before pandemic when this happened. So my wife, she had to do quarantine before, you know, we all had to, you know, be quarantined or, or sit in the house and wait for everyone and all that crazy shit, right? So, cause she had to get on the chemo pills and stuff like that. So me and the kids, we couldn't even be around her. We couldn't even, be near touching none of that um, because of the pills. So get up there, whatever. Um, so like I say, we have been dealing with this, since 2020. So fast forward today, with April 17, 2026, right? So I'm having a little stressful day. I ain't always a little stressful, you know. Wasn't even about the work, it's about people. You know how they go. And all of a sudden, I get a text. Man, I was talking to my boss for a second. He was telling me something. The next thing you know, my wife, I heard my phone go off with text message, but I ain't see who it was at the time. At that time, I'm loading the truck up. So next thing you know, um, something said, "Hey, look at that text message. Look at it." So I do, right? Get up there and look at it. It's in the group text message me, her, and my daughter have, right? So it's an image. I look at the image of what she sent, and it's a heart around it. Okay. So they say, I'm like reading it. So it let my wife know. So let me pause on that for a second, right? Before I continue the story. So once she was diagnosed and everything, so she had been going to, this one doctor, this, that, and third. This doctor, supposed to be, helping looking out for all that, all that different shit, right? So I'm like, all right, you know. So anywho, uh, for a while now, my wife had been, feeling a little different about this guy. Like, it didn't feel the best, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, why certain things, kept happening like it did, right? You know, Lord continue to bless them and say, watch the text, honestly, man. So, um, get up there, like say she, wondering, why every time I turn around they saying levels low, this that and the third, they upping the medicine, this that and the third, it was just a lot of craziness, right? Because like I say, during this whole entire time, uh, so many, so many different things have been happening, you know, uh, with my wife and everything, and so many different surgeries, stuff like that, since that, right? So it was just, like I said, it was a lot going on, So she had just had surgery, had just came home from having surgery, um, the day before we got hit with Hurricane Helene. Right? all of that, you know. So it was, like I said, a lot going on that she had went through, right? So like I say, she had been feeling some type of way with the doctor or whatever. So she had been saying to me, she like, man, I thinking about switching doctors, this, that, and third. I was like, man, do what you feel you need to do. That's best for you. It is what it is. You know, cause see, here it is to go back on it, back to 2020 at the time when everything happened. At the time, I was uh, trying to pursue a career, and I was doing a couple of business at the time, but which she was supporting and had my back on it and everything. So, but when all of this happened, with all this happening with counseling and everything, I was like, hell no, you ain't doing no more work. Like, fuck that. I got it for him. And she was like, nah, but you trying to, build this career and this, that, and the third. You got business you trying to do and this, that. Like, man, that shit gonna have to fucking wait. Like, right now, the focus need to be about you and your health. Like, damn that. You know, I ain't even stressing on what I got going on and what I'm trying to do. It is what it is, at the end of the day. I'm just trying to make sure you good, you straight. Like, fuck that. And then also at the same time, you know, we was having little issues in our relationship and everything, which every couple go through certain situation in a relationship, right? And she even tried to, talk about that, some of our problems and issues. And I had to tell her, I was like, man, all that gonna have to wait. Like, all that shit gonna have to wait because the main focus is your health. Like, I don't give a fuck about nothing else. Only thing I give a damn about your health. Your health. So here we go. Like I say, she had been, saying whatever for about, the doctor, this, that, and the third, or whatever. So she decided to switch doctors. So they decided to run back through everything, run all these tests back, this, that, and the third. Like, redo everything from scratch. Like, it's our first time never doing it, That's how they came. Because at first it was all about, you know, let's do a full body scan, you know, this, that, and the third. But we're gonna hold up. We're gonna start everything back from scratch. That's what these doctors decided to do. So like I say, I'm at work today and they say, I get up there and man, y'all, I get up there and look at that image that she sent or some paperwork that had a heart around it to find out my wife is cancer free. Cancer free. I just don't know how it happened. That made me feel, know that here my wife is cancer free. Cancer free. Man, I was just so happy to hear that. And be honest with y'all, man, after reading that, I was just like, I don't even care what goes on for the rest of the day. I don't care whatever drama was going on for about work, how things were unorganized and all that. Man, I ain't care about none of that. None of that don't even phase me none of that right now. No, I just got word that my wife is cancer free. I'm straight. Like I'm so straight right now. Like I don't even care. I don't care, well, for real. Like I don't even care. Care about nothing. Care about nothing. Care about nothing, y'all. I'm just so happy for my wife right now. I am so happy for her. For real. I just don't know. I'm so happy for her right now. So happy. Real. I want to share this story with y'all, man. Share this news with y'all. Not story, share this news with y'all, man. I just had to share this with y'all. You know, um, like I said earlier, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and y'all make sure y'all do that for real. Um, Till next time, y'all already know what it is. Folk to see folk, never more.